see where the products are going, how they're being used, extending the life very and to skip to the punchline, everything right up to the ad network, I get. Because you'll be able to get, I mean, publishers will always let you try things with a chance they can make some money. Where it gets really hard is when you start trying to be the ad network yourself. One thing you might want to think about is if it's something that it's another piece of ad inventory potentially for an advertiser, somebody that already has access to a deep advertiser community is maybe a partner you may want to consider.
Right.
I mean, you're doing a lot of very hard things very well. That I think is probably an order of magnitude more difficult, more competitive, and I think you've done something that's already really hard well. So I might want to focus on that a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. So in our international markets, we actually do have sales partnerships in, say, Taiwan, Southeast Asia, and we're actively seeking those in areas where we just don't want to establish our own local presence. I think even in the U.S. or English language markets, like it's a really compelling proposition. Is there are folks out there who just are really good at selling,
sure,
and we should allow them or enable them to do so.
Absolutely.
So a couple quick thoughts. I have to say the mochi bot, I think it's more because it's a very interesting and compelling product, but I obviously I should rethink that particular branding strategy for what that's worth, which is not much. But that said, I think the technology for embedding the codes and kind of the self-service piece from the publisher perspective is awesome. I think that's really great. I think it's easy. It's a great kind of scalable model. It's proven by other ad networks. I guess the more kind of fundamental concern though would be I think that the technology is not that hard, and I think the one reason they may be moving towards the ad network is because you have to. But then there are all kinds of ad networks, and they're moving. They have much more kind of liquidity in their marketplaces, and they're moving into this space.
Right.
So you've got what seems to be a fairly undifferentiable technology moving towards massive kind of combinations of inventory reach and advertiser relationships. How do you see the relation of those two forces?
When we think about this business, I mean, we started off being very developer focused, and it's the developers who are creating these compelling games, and therefore are the ones who are creating the inventory. And what we found is that, I mean, that's one of the great assets that we have today is this community of lots of developers creating lots of games. I think it is somewhat challenging. It's never impossible to basically come in here and basically try to re-aggregate together developer relationships, because these developers are teenagers in Croatia, a 30-year-old guy in India, you name it. They're all over the place. But what we've established via MochiBot, because we're out there sort of working hard for developers, we have good credibility with them. And they trust us and they come to us as essentially their default place for solutions.
So they get the brand.
So I wonder what advertisers, what's their response? Do they think of you as sort of low CPM remnant inventory, or do they think that you're very engaged with the audience and so you're getting high CPMs? What do you see?
Yeah. What is the CPM?
Exactly, if you're willing to.
Sure. So advertisers who we've worked with in the past and are working with currently include Red Bull, Wrigley's, Xbox, Cheetos on the video ad side. So these are branded advertisers. I think when we think about the marketplace in general, like gaming is a great segment for entertainment in general. So we think about movie trailers, game trailers, and the like. In terms of CPMs, I mean our direct sales force really goes out there with a high CPM pitch, and that's based off the fact that average click-through rates on the network are 5 to 7%. So a pretty high click-through rate. On the direct sales side, they'll target to sell banners at say $5 or so.
And are you getting high fill rates?
High fill rate. Yes. So what I would say is that the international piece I think is challenging. Hence why we do sales partnerships. I think in the U.S. we're pretty much sold out on a regular basis. English language countries, I'd say.
Final thoughts from the judges? Any thoughts from the audience? Anyone want to talk flash gaming for a second? Or we let the next guys up? Our Ustream stands, we can't do the internet. I'm twittering, by the way, still twittering.
Less Twitter, more
All right.
gameplay.
Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.